Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel Planet for Tech. I hope you all are doing great and learning lots by watching all the continuous episode of our tech series. So far we have completed few of the playlist you can see here, and currently we are uploading videos for the codeignitor 3.x complete tutorial in Hindi you can see here. So till now we have uploaded around 12 videos, and today we are going to understand new topic of the codeignitor. So as I have already told you, like we have to follow the general user guide of the community CI framework, because we are going to get the latest update, whatever updates are coming related to the CI means coordinator in their official user guide. So in our previous 12 episodes, we have completed this much topic we have already completed, and you can see like in the last episode we have uh, look like how we can create the CLI application using the codeignitor, so that we have already covered, and rest these things are pending. So out of these, only this one handling multiple environment, this part is only mandatory and others are optional, so we can skip it. And let's see how we can handle the multiple environments. So what happens when we're talking about the multiple environments, it simply means like when we are developing some product like application, so there might be a different environment like local environment, development environment, and staging environment, and QA environment, UAT environment, so and production environment. So lots of environment we can have, but in coordinator we have only three environments. So we can let me show you how we can manage those environments. So for that, let me start first like CI. So I started my VS Code, you can see here. So when you open this complete CI application, so under the application or app folder, you will find one, you can see here under the app, you will find config folder. So in this config folder, we can configure the different environment, whatever we want. Like you can see right now there is no configuration folder under this config folder is having lots of configuration file, but there is no such environment related folders. So how we can manage it, let's look at here. So as we know, like there is a one entry point for codeigniter, that is the index.php. So in this index.php, in the starting point, we are setting the environment, which environment we are going to work. So here you can see in this line, it is already mentioned there can be a development environment, testing environment, and production environment. So here we can set like which environment we want. So if we are using development environment, so we have to pass it here as a development. Otherwise we can pass testing, whatever you want, you can pass it like this, and you can pass production. So when you feel like all the development are done and you are going to deploy your project in the production environment, live environment, so you can put this environment as production. Otherwise you can keep it testing or development. So this way you can manage different environments. So first of all, this is the first point. Here you have to create here you have to assign the environment, which environment you want. So I have assigned development. So guys, you have to create three folders, that is development, testing, and production, under the config folder. Let me show you how we can do that. So under the app folder you will find the config folder, and under the config we have to create three folders. Let me show you. This is the first folder, this is the development, and the same way you have to create another folder, that will be the testing folder, and another folder should be the production folder. Now you can see we have created three folders here: development, testing, and production. This is because this we are going to manage multiple environments. So under all these files you have to create one constants.php. So you can see here it is constants. So for simplicity we can just copy the name of the file, or you can create it whatever you want. Now let me show you. So in the development we have to create one constants like this. I just created constant.php. Let me mention this is a PHP file. PHP tag is required. I just made it. In the same way, we can provide some development related information. So when we talk about environment specific information, it simply means like in local you might have different database, and in the production you might have different database, and the same way the base URL are different for every environment. So these are the basic settings what we can put as per the environment. So let me create few constants here. Define, I'm just going to create a database related information. app sorry app db. So this is the app db I just created here, and in the let me check what is the database name. We can put it here like directly. So we are using this one ci demo now, so we can pass it here ci demo like this. In the same way we can create other information like db user you can pass. So for us, like username is root, so we can make it like this, and there is no password, so we can skip it. It is db underscore password. So whatever kind of environment variables you want, you can make it here. And another is db name. So this is the db name. So we have db name, and we want db host. One moment. Here we can make it like host. So we know like host is what? Local host. Simply we are using. So this way, guys, you can see we have these four things available in development environment. The same file we have to copy for the production as well, and the same file we have to copy for testing. So what we are going to do here, see the variable is same for every environment. You can see here for the development environment, there is the same variable app underscore db underscore host and app db user. So these constants, these are the constant, not a variable. These constants name are same for every environment, but their value are going to be changed. Like for development, we have a username root and password is something blank, but in production it is not. It should be another username, it should be other password. So definitely we have to change it. So this way, guys, you have to create three different constants. Once you have done the by creating this constant file inside the config folder, so what you have to do, you have to use these variables where it is required. Like in the database.php, instead of doing hard coding here, we are going to read those constants directly here. Like we are going to read app underscore db host. So host name is coming here. We can use it here like app underscore db underscore user. Now here we want the database name. So app underscore, sorry, it should be app underscore db underscore database name. You can see. Now the last one is password, app underscore db underscore password. So these constants we have utilized, these values are going to be changed as per the environment, whatever we are going to select from the index.php. So right now you can see we have development here. So it is going to load those values from development folder. So once the application will run, it will include this constant file and it will take the value from development. Once we will change this value here, let me show you is it working or not first. So I'm going to change it. Let me show you here localhost ci underscore demo. Yes, you can see it is working. We have something blog. Yes, it is working. The data is coming from the database, we can see here. But what else if we are going to change the environment? So I'm going to make it testing. Let's see here. I'm just changing the environment just to show you like is it working or not. So it is going to take the value from testing folder, you can see here. So in the testing folder, I'm just changing the username like test user, something like this is for the testing server. Now it will not work. Why it is not working? Because it is taking the username from the testing server, the testing folder, and in the testing folder we have the username test user, which is not valid in our case because we are using the development environment. So this is how we can manage different environment. I hope this is bit clear to you, like how we can maintain different environments. Like here index.php, you have to change whatever environment you want, and accordingly you have to create 3 folders under the app folder, config folder, and in each folder you have to create one file, constant.php. Under this file you can define whatever constants you want, that is going to vary as per the environments. So we created 4 constants here, and after this you have to utilize these constants wherever it is required. Like in the database.php file, you can see we need this detail, that's why we added here, like the appdb host, appdb user, appdb password, appdb name. So guys, this way you can manage different environment whenever you require in your application. So this is all about how we can handle the multiple environments in this topic. This thing you can read from this user guide. And apart from this, these 3 topics are not that much important here, because I'm going to describe you the security part in the codeignitor library itself. So let's move to that main topic of codeignitor library. So these general topics we have already completed. Now let's see, the next is the codeignitor library. Here you can see the libraries here. So uh, first, let's see like how many libraries are there, and we are just going to take the overview of this. So we can see here different libraries. Benchmarking classes are there, caching driver are there, calendaring classes, shopping cart classes. So if you are going to build a shopping cart, so you need one cart, you can say the cart class you need, so we can use that there. And config class, email, for sending the mail we can use the email, for encrypting some data we can use the encrypt. In the same way, there are lots of library. Out of these, one is the very common, that is the file upload class and the form validation. So these 2 libraries are mostly going to be used. And apart from this, you can see there is a session library. So this is we are going to use when we have to manage the some auth kind of thing, like login, logout, registration. So this we are going to use. For image manipulation, we have GD library, image manipulation classes, and input classes just to take the input from like form input, form get post. This all we are going to understand. Pagination, to make the pagination library. Migration classes are there. So this all we are going to understand. So let's start it one by one. So firstly, in this tutorial, in this part, I'm not going to follow it sequentially. I will show you the part which is mostly going to be used. So firstly, we are going to understand the form validation, why we use the form validation. Let me show you. So this form validation is basically required whenever you are going to validate some data before storing it in a database. So for that we need to create one form first. Let me create it one form. I'm going to add one link here just to add new post. Let me show you. Or else I'm going to create one login form. So here, this is the blog. You can see this is the blog controller. I'm going to create one new controller that will be for the login purpose. So for simplicity, I'm just going to create new file, that is the login.php. As this is a PHP class, so we need PHP tag again, and here we can use class login. So whatever PHP class you are using, the class name and the file name must be same. Extends, we are going to use app controller. So this way guys, we can use, if you want to call constructor, so you can call it function construct. So under this app controller, we have already defined construct, so we have to call parent construct as well. So I'm going to call it parent construct this way. So make sure if you are using some, if you are going to create constructor inside the controller, so you have to call parent constructor as well. Otherwise, it is not going to work as usual. So let me create the function here, function login, or you can say index method simply. So this is going to load the login page. So controller we have created, and we are going to load the login data. We just creating one data title equals to login. Now guys, we are gradually moving towards the complete app development using CI. So from today only we are going to develop part by part. So we are going to complete, we are going to create one blogger site here. So today we are going to understand the first like login, how we can apply the form validation there. So parallelly I'm going to describe you these topics as well as its implementation with the help of one running projects. The project is going to be till the end for all the topics, because in the reference of this project only I'm going to describe you these topics. Now we are going to create the login page. So whenever this project we are opening now, so it should load the login page first. You can see it is not loading. This is because the default route is not set yet. Now let me show you. We want this controller should be open as a default route. So for that, what we need to do, go to the config folder, and under the config you will find one routes folder, routes file. You can see here this is the routes.php, and here you can see default controller is home. That's why it is not loading. So what we can do, we can make it login. Now let's see, is it loading or not? Yes, it is loading the login, but there is no view we have loaded under the index, so we need to load it. So how we can load this? Load view, and here we have to pass the name of view. What view we want basically login, and here we need to pass the data variable. So this way, let me run it. It is saying like login.php view is not available. It is obvious because we have not created this view here. So you can see under the views folder there is no such login.php file. We can create one login.php file here. So for simplicity and to save the time, I am going to take it from the internet like sample file. Going to take the bootstrap login form. So from here we can take it directly. We don't need to make it one by one. If we want this way, so we can make it. Otherwise, it is not good example. Let me show you some bootstrap form. Bootstrap 5 form this way. So we can simply take the form from here. Let me take the example of 5.2 latest. So guys, it is my recommendation. Try to use the latest bootstrap, whatever is available. So this is the one of the example of login. We can take it directly. So let me copy it. So first of all, we need to create one login.php file here. This part guys, you have to watch carefully, because from today only we are going to start the project development. So I will recommend you never miss any upcoming episodes, because every episode we are going to build at least one part of the project, that is the blogger system. So we created one file here, you can see login.php, and in this login.php we are going to, meanwhile let me remove other files because these are not yet needed, otherwise you will get confused now. I just remove only one we have, and here controllers I am going to remove. I just remove these controllers, even block controllers I have removed. Index.html removed, only login.php I have, and here we have login view. So in this I'm going to integrate first like HTML5 and Bootstrap. So this is the skeleton of HTML5. Let me integrate the Bootstrap file first. So for that we need to copy it. Let me show you. So here you can see download, or how we can integrate this. Either we can download it or we can use CDN. So I will prefer you to use like CDN. CDN is the more preferable way to use the Bootstrap. Simply copy this part and you can apply it there. So you will get basically two files. One is for CSS, another is for JS. And you simply need this code. This code you can copy from here. Just going to put here. Now you can see it's loading or not first. Yes, it is loading, but it is loading in full form, full page. So we have to make it. So we have to apply a few Bootstrap classes. So if you are not aware about the Bootstrap, so either you can watch, you can see from here like official site, or else we are going to create few episodes for the Bootstrap as well. So from there you can cover it. So here to make it, let me create one class. Let me add it one class, div class call 5 md5, means the 5 column we want, md as the just for the device. Yeah, this is reduced, and let me add one container class container. Yes, this way, or else if you want few height, so you can give it here like class login form, and we are going to add once here style tag, this way login form, make it margin top 10 20 pixel or 50 pixel, whatever you want you can make it. So I'm not going to focus more on the designing part because I have to show you the concept, what is the main concept, how we can create the new project with the help of CI. So here we are going to email address and password. So let me make it a bit simple. Instead of email address, making it email, and this is the required part. So we can have one span just to show like this is required strict, and password is also required for. Now this part is not needed, we can remove it, and this is also this part is not needed, so we can remove this part as well. Let me show you how it is looking. Yes, we have email and password. So type is mail and ID, make it email. This form you have to make first a name will be email. The same thing you have to make here for the password. Here you can keep password and ID equal to, sorry, name equals to password. So this way you have to first create the field. This is its name is not there, so make it name as submit. simply make it submit. So this you can see here, yes, it is designed. And don't make it submit, we can make it login. So what we want, like once we are login here, so we have to check like this email is properly filled or not, because this is required field, and this is password is also required field. So for this purpose we are going to use the validation classes in the codeignator. So let me show you the part here. So you can see here, so form validation, basically this library we use for the purpose of validating the form elements. So how we can use it? So first of all, we have to create the view that we have already done, and after that you have to, in the controller, this is the part of the controller. You can see in the controller what you have to do. You have to load the library, form library you have to load first, or you can say the helper. It is the helper actually, form helper and library. So these two you have to load first. So let me show you how we can load it. Go to the here. So here you can load it, this load library. So which library we want? This is form validation. So you can take the name from here itself if you want. This is form underscore validation. So this is the library we want, and there are a few helpers like form helper and array helper. This we want, so we can directly load it instead of copying it. You can see, so either you can load it in this function or you can load it in the constructor. Both are a valid way. So if you are loading in the constructor, so it will be available for every methods, and if you are loading it in the inside the method, so this will be available only for the login purpose. So you can see this is done. Now we are going to check the form is submitted or not. So for that what we can do, if we can check is set dollar underscore form, sorry, post, this is submitted or not. If this is submitted, then only we are going to apply the validation. So this part you have to take care, like this is the main part actually. So for that what we are going to run, we are going to use this line. You have to this is the form validation and the run. We have to check it is proper or not. If we are going to run this, you can say form underscore, this is the form validation library you have to call here, and you have to call run method. Once this is true, then only it should be submitted. If it is false, or you can say that true, then only it will submit. Otherwise you can show else, some error part you can show here. So we can set some error here. Let me set error this, sorry, this input, or you can say the session plus. So this way you can use the flush data here, message msg, and you can set the error. There is some error in form. Gradually we are going to understand all kind of validation here. It is just a start of this library. Once all is okay, then only we will come here and we can submit. So we can change the message here, validation is passed now. And we want to show this message here, or else simply keep it echo just to check. Plus part I will describe you later, don't worry about this. Here we have to understand how we have to apply the validation. This is the main part. So after this, you can see There is some error in the form. It is showing. Let me make it non-empty. It is not showing. Okay, it is asking for the mail part. Oh, it is not posting because we have not set the form method. So you can see here in the form we have to set the form method as post. Method as post. Then only it will post, otherwise not. Let me reload it. Yes, you can see we are able to see the message now. There is some error in the form. This is because the validation is asking something to check that should be true. Then only it will work. Now we have to add few validation condition there. So how we can add it? Let me show you. There are some set rules. So with the help of set rules we can add the rules there. So in this setting, while we setting the rules, we have to pass three arguments. The first argument will be the name of the controller, and the second will be the rules, and the third will be the message whatever we want there. Let me show you here. See, this is the one of the example, like this is the name of the, let me try there, this form underscore validation set rules. So the first argument will be the name of the input. So here name is what? Email. So just copy it, and what labels we want there? We need email. This is the label now. And what rules we want? Like we want it should be required and it should be the email. These two conditions we have set. So the first one is what? It is the name of the input field. Second is the label. This label it is going to show there. And the last one is what? The setup rules we can use. So here you can see we have applied two conditions, like one is the required and there is the email. So the data coming with is required and it should be the proper email. So for that we have, if we are going to use more than one condition, more than one rule, so you have to apply one pipe here. So after using the pipe operator you can set more than one validation rules here. Now let me show you, is it working or not? So if I am not applying this here, there is some error in the form. Now you want exact error. What is the exact errors? So you can use validation errors. So this part we can simply echo there. So when we are using this now, so it will give us the exact error. So we can use it here. Validation errors. So it is going to give us the exact error. See, the email field is required. Email field is required. Now we are going to pass the some data here. So it is saying like unable to access an error message corresponding to your field name email. There is some error like email name it is not getting. Let me check what is the problem here. So there is no problem, actually we are passing invalid rule here. You can see there is no such rules email. We have list of rules here. You can see when you scroll here in the bottom side you will find this set of rules, what rules we can apply for the validation rules reference. So this part I will put this URL in the description of the video. From there also you can take it, and you can see here for these are the list of validation. Like for required purpose we have to pass required, matches, regular expression. This all I'm going to describe you one by one. For now, just check like validation for mail. So for mail, we have to use valid underscore mail. So this part we have, instead of using mail, we have to use valid underscore mail. Now you can see, is it working or not? Yes, it is working. Validation is passed. Now I'm going to apply the same validation for the password. So let me show you how we can do that. S- Again, we have to write this form underscore validation underscore set underscore rules this way. So this rules we are going to set for password. The label name is what? Password. And the rules, what rules we have to apply? The first rule is what? It should be required. Another rule, if you want, you can apply some a fixed length, like you want some length. So let me show you minimum length, maximum length we can apply. So this way, this is the example. You can see minimum length we want like 6 characters, so we can put it there like this. Minimum length we want 6, or else if you want more than 6, so you can put that. Now I'm going to show you the demonstration. Here this is the mail, and I'm giving the mail password only 3 characters, so you will get the error. See, the password field must be at least 6 characters in the length. Why this is coming? This is coming because we have applied the validation. Minimum length should be, must be 6. This is the reason. So if we are providing proper password more than 6 characters, so it will pass. You can see validation is passed. So guys, this way you have to explore this validation part, and I will describe you rest of part of validation in the next episode. So for this episode, this much only. So keep watching, and keep practicing every whatever episode we have till now uploaded. So thank you so much for watching.